bet you thought I forgot about the Star Wars wall. I didn't. Just been a little bit busy doing some smaller builds here and there. So today, this angle is obviously not ideal, mainly because I actually need to put you guys a little bit higher, but my tripod is a little bit wobbly. You see that mess? That's supposed to be the Separatist shelves, and it's just not quite there. So today I want to do a little bit of work right where that little Separatist display currently is. That's the Battle of Naboo. Not really Separatist, but you know, you kind of get the gist. So basically, a couple videos ago, I decided to start doing a Star Wars shelf, like full display. So basically, each faction kind of doing their own thing, and each having their own smaller level. As I casually grabbed the set from over here, definitely didn't forget that in the intro. But I figured we would finally build this bad boy right here, which is the Invisible Hand. Now, this is exclusive to LEGO and Target. However, if you haven't picked it up yet, it's a good time to do so. It is on sale pretty much constantly right now. It retails for about $50. However, you can find it for $40 or less, in my opinion. No minifigures, since it is a Midi-Scale build and contains 577 pieces. So, similar to this Midi-Scale right here, and a little bit less for the Empire ship kind of at the bottom there. You know, it's a little bit tough. I know it's a little bit wobbly for you guys, but just the size of the shell was making it a little bit difficult. Ignore the candle, by the way. If you're wondering why the candle's there, no, I don't light it while it's there. It just makes it a little bit easier to actually keep it there. We're also going to be adding to the Empire shelf in the next couple videos. I have the Star Wars, I should say, I have the Darth Vader helmet series to go over here. I'll be moving the headphone display once that actually happens, and then we just adjust a little bit from there. I have no idea where on earth that's going to go, but I do like it, so it's probably going to go maybe behind my desk or something like that. But today we're going to be building the Invisible Hand, and then cleaning up the actual top portion of the Separatist display. I will most likely be hanging a couple of those Hot Wheels as well, and doing just overall the best I can to kind of make it work out a little bit nicer. But I'm excited. I haven't built a lot of Star Wars lately. I say that I've built more Star Wars than I have some other themes as of late, but in the past couple of years, it's just really been slowing down for me, and these displays just aren't too near a point that I'm happy with like having in my space. So time to finally do a little bit of the Separatist work, and those bags are actually full of like my AT-ATs, some of the Hoth sets, snow speeders, and a couple of like the other Separatist ships just kind of sitting around. I do have the big boy Separatist ship, however, it's probably not going to fit there. I don't know. We're gonna take a look. I honestly have no idea if that one will fit here or not. It's not UCS by any means, but if you go all the way up there, yeah, that's it. Just smushed right under there. Got some of the villainous boards back there. So I know the awkward angle isn't going to be everyone's favorite. I kind of do my best when it's some of these larger displays. When I actually have to spread like everything out, it gets a little bit wonky, but yeah, so we're going to build the Invisible Hand. I'm super excited to finally start cleaning up some of this space. I do have another city set that I'm going to be working on here pretty soon, which is actually going to be lighting up Krusty Burger, so I am excited for that, and a couple other projects here coming soon. I'm also hard at work at ordering the Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff. I actually finally picked out like the wood sizes that I want to be using for the actual display, which is a big part of it. So I'm going to hopefully go to Home Depot in the next few days. I'm recording this right before Thanksgiving, so it makes it a little bit tougher to go out and shop for the next couple days, but the wood, all the materials, looks like it at least has been picked out. So once I can get that going, I can order the base plates and start building from there. But I'm super excited. Wrapping up this year. Been a little chaotic. I'm hoping to have a little bit more of a scheduling, non-scheduling crisis for next year. I know it's all part of being a YouTuber, but hey, we do the best we can. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said, if you're interested in that set, definitely check it out right now. Right around the holidays, especially, it's going to be on a pretty good sale, and maybe you can get a nice Black Friday deal or something. They last before and after Black Friday at this point. But thank you guys so much. Let's get started on the build, folks. Alright everybody, so here is part one, which is of course going to be the final build for the Invisible Hand. If you're wondering where I've been and why the LEGO videos have kind of not been around for a couple of weeks, I've just been really busy with some other things, and then right as I recorded this intro, I woke up the next morning barely being able to talk or breathe. I've had a pretty nasty strain of the flu for about a week now, and it's just been uncomfortable to talk, and honestly, I've just been kind of getting some editing done and catching up on the Outdoors channel, as well as setting up some new stuff in my office, and just really wasn't up to building a lot, let alone filming it. So I mean, you know, I'm fine to build this stuff, but when my throat is just really bad, it is definitely tough to do. So I apologize for a little bit of a gap in there. It's been a rough week or so, but as of today, I'm slightly feeling better. Thank you, Dayquil, for doing your absolute darndest. So I've gone through a lot of cough drops, but so yeah, basically, I do apologize for not getting a lot of these LEGO videos out recently. It's just a lot easier to do a video game, record that, edit that, and to move on when you're not feeling too well. But in terms of the build, just like every other Midi-Scale that I've built, it is fantastic. I absolutely adore this. Now, this ship is built a little bit differently than the other two. You're going to build the front piece and the back half at two separate times and then connect them in the middle. I accidentally connected them a little bit off the first time. That was just my error trying to build this, you know, during a fever dream at that point. Now, originally when you build this, it will have two of the grill 1x2s. Of course, you can rip one off and put the 25 years of Lego Star Wars on the side of it. Try and get the little different camera light so you guys can see it, but it is pretty much the exact same size as the others. The bridge up top is obviously going to be the thing that sticks out the most, so to make sure you don't break that off. The only other piece that was a little bit more difficult when you're building it is this section down here, only because you build that before obviously connecting it and before finishing this piece there, so it is a little bit delicate. In terms of the engines, just like all of the others, it does look fantastic as well. I really do enjoy the blue windows, or I should not obviously the windows, but that's what it looks like. The shields, of course, going across the outside. It looks fantastic. I love it. These pets are just fantastic, and I'm glad they're really dedicating a lot of time and resources into actually doing these. The 2026 sets for January have slowly becoming more and more of a thing. Some are still leaks, some are actually announced. The new modular got announced. I honest to God have not even looked at it yet. It's like Shopping Street Corner or something like that. I know it's a corner build, which is gonna be so tough for me to do something with in the city. I honestly don't know. That's gonna be tough. So I am gearing up for hopefully a January 1st nice big wave again. I haven't done one in a while just because if you don't follow the rest of my life, upgrading camera equipment has been pretty much priority number one, just because, you know, Legos are one aspect of my life. But when you're downing, you know, 3600 plus on one lens, it makes life a little bit difficult. I do film the majority of this as a little bit different. I would like to do this as a camera setup, but it just pretty much a pain, seeing as everything that I own is pretty much for wildlife, and I'm just not a huge fan of the lens that I typically use for like interviews and stuff in here. So yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much for stuff, something that does nothing to do with this build, but that's basically just kind of the outlook. I do want to obviously do the Separatist shelf really quick. I am going to start putting some of my Star Wars Black Series in the background as well, but I'll probably do that in a future video. For now, I just want to get the Separatist area kind of set up. It is pretty far off the ground, as you guys saw in the intro, so I'll do my best to kind of get everything spaced out, but I do plan on putting the Malevolence, at least I plan on doing it as of now, putting the Malevolence on the larger portion of the Separatist shelf and doing it that way. I've contemplated combining Separatist and Clones and Empire and Rebels. I don't know. It would be super tough to try and fit everything, but it's interesting. The reason I say that is I have a ton of stuff for the Empire, but I don't have a lot of stuff for the Rebels, and I have a ton of stuff for the Clones, and I'm eventually going to have a ton of stuff for the Separatists, so it makes it a little bit tough. I know that I want all four of them to kind of have their own display, but we'll see as we go. I still need to do one for the Mandalorians / Bounty Hunters as well, but let's get started on doing some quick renovations and actually making the Separatist shelf look a little bit nicer. Alright, gonna do my very best to show everything off here. So I did move the Malevolence down to here. Looks awkward in the background because it is so small, but if I can raise that up maybe somehow, I think that would look good as a backdrop depending on what I do with the Black Series. Got some Hot Wheels of Star Wars just kind of hanging out. I do have space up top. And yes, since we're 96 inches up on this shelf, it is a little bit tough to get everything in one photo. But obviously we have a lot of goodies. A little beat up there. We definitely have to work on some of this stuff. And yes, I'm aware it's pretty dusty up here, but I have a ton of Black Series to actually put up and move and organize. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you're interested in this set or many of the ones that you see around it or like it, I'll have links to all of them in the description below. Same thing with light kits and the whole kit and caboodle. Hope you're all having a great holiday season. Let me know of any cool sets for the Separatists or anything else that you would like to see added. Follow me on Instagram, Bricked, YouTube. Obviously, you're here. You know I'm here. TikTok, the whole 9 yards, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy building, everybody.